One of the government officials wishes to speak with you privately, and they have more information than you. My lovely child, if you do believe in angels, start this video and listen to the end. Angel's words, this message was always going to reach you, no matter how far you would flee from it, no matter how diligently the enemy would try to stop it, and no matter how many times the truth was held back. But today, all holding back is undone. Today, everything changes because someone strong is aware of something about you that they were never supposed to learn. And they are coming. A government representative wishes to see you. In private, in secret, their words have been measured. Their hands have rested upon something bearing your name. They have learned more than you realize. And the motive behind them approaching will leave you reeling. But don't panic before taking a breath. Because this is not to harm you. It's to elevate you. I took you this far not to leave you at the crossroads. I took you only to see the enemy tear your roots apart. I anointed you not to be disregarded by wicked voices. You assumed this concerned you alone, but it's not. Your obedience has shaken halls of power. Your prayers have resonated into systems way beyond what you believed you had influence over. And now the very people who once did not even acknowledge your existence are looking into your name. Not to kill you, but to figure out how you've made it through what should have killed you. Because nothing about your survival works on paper. And that is precisely why this government official has asked to meet with you in private. You are not called because you are guilty. You are being watched because you are destined. They've followed trends. They've heard whispers. They've read reports. And your name keeps popping up in places of spirituality, in talks you weren't privy to. In spaces you've never occupied. You have awakened something much more potent than you could ever have imagined. And now a door is creaking open, but it's not what you imagine. There is one person who has been attempting to bury the truth about you. She has played many roles. Some seasons she played the role of your supporter. Others, she remained silent as others disrespected you. But now silence is her exposure. Because when you have someone who loves you standing and watching you getting destroyed and remaining silent, that is not loyalty. That is betrayal. And now at last God is revealing this woman. The one who was privy to what was being spoken in secret and never stood up for you. The one who took fragments of your testimony to the wrong individuals. The one who smiled in your face while orchestrating your spiritual lag. God is stripping the mask away now, not later. Now. And that government session is all part of that revelation. You may be bewildered. You might ask, why me? Why now? Why would someone from such a strong position take an interest in my name, my existence, my records, my past? But heaven is crying out because your testimony is needed in high places. There are wars raging behind walls you have not known. Spiritual battles have been fought in boardrooms. Your existence, your light, your power, it has challenged systems. You were not meant to be normal. You were sent as a spoiler of evil schemes. Your prayers have nullified pacts sealed in darkness. Your faith has punched holes in plots formulated by wicked individuals. And this lady, this impostor God is uncovering, belonged to a team intended to quiet you. She failed because heaven supports you. You were not supposed to learn this way. But God, sick of seeing you struggle, with blindfolds on. So now He's removing the veil. This woman, she whispered something to somebody. A file, a message, a throwaway comment said in exasperation. She thought no one would listen, but someone did. And the person she whispered to wasn't anybody. It was an emissary, an access government official, someone commissioned to recognize corruption, someone who understands what to find in scams. And when they recognized your name, something changed. They dug deeper. They drew up records. They examined the names she attempted to connect with you. But rather than locating what she was hoping would ruin you, they located something else. Proof of your integrity. A history of loyalty. A light that would not be darkened. And now they wish to see you, not to frighten, but to enlighten. There is something that has been withheld from you. And they're prepared to give it to you. A message, a file, a discovery, something that will have you view the past several years in a different light because you weren't imagining things. You weren't making a big deal out of nothing. That spiritual unease you always sensed, it was genuine. The fear wasn't emotional alone. It was premonitory. The dreams were not random. They were warnings. You sensed being stalked because you were watched not by demons only, but by systems, powers, and yes, even human eyes commissioned to monitor your every step. But the officer now knows the deception failed. Your spiritual integrity neutralized the traps and the individual God is exposing. This woman, she is panicking as her words can no longer dictate the course of events. Her support is collapsing. Those that she was manipulating are waking up and you are being vindicated in ways that will surprise even you. Be ready for odd messages. Emails, phone numbers you don't know, invitations. Some of them will seem insignificant, but they are divine in disguise. Respond with wisdom, not fear. Archangel Michael states, this is a part of your angelic mission. The encounter is not a warning. It's a window into all that you weren't meant to know until this moment. You might feel your heart pounding. That's the spirit. You might feel a chill run down your spine. That's confirmation. You've been seeking clarity. It's here. You requested justice. It's on its way. You pleaded for truth. It's detonating. The woman God is revealing was a spiritual agent of delay. She appeared to be guarding you but undermining you secretly. She stalled introductions. She erased messages. She managed impressions. But heaven has flipped the script. Her name is being branded. Not by you but by divine authority, and you won't have to lift a finger. God is handling this himself. The angels aren't soliciting your opinion. They are carrying out divine judgment. The government official is not to be feared. He is a vessel that has come to remind you that even human systems cannot bypass divine design. God put you in rooms where others were disqualified. He protected you when arrows were cast. And now all that was carried out in secrecy is being shown forth in spirit. Do not question what you're hearing. The Holy Spirit is waking your memory. Now turn back. Go back to the times that didn't make sense, that career that vanished. That phone call that never rang. That door that was yanked open. It wasn't luck. It was her. She manipulated schedules. She disrupted synchronicity. And for a time, it worked. But the favor of your life outpaced the ambushes. And now the turning around starts. Heaven is ringing. They have more information than you realize. They've witnessed the true story. They realize now that what they were informed about you was a lie. And it was upon this woman's lies that their doubts had been nourished, but God interrupted the result. You could have been rejected, erased, forgotten. But you weren't, because God revised the result. The official now witnesses the light surrounding you. They should have canceled your name, but now they're attracted to it. Do not flee. Do not be afraid. This is divine realignment. And the very hand that attempted to erase your destiny has now revealed her own. Do you sense the energy changing? That's because God has entered your timeline. The spiritual world is not waiting, the time is here. One mystery after another will be revealed. The ones who mocked your silence will soon be stunned at your emergence. The individuals who had trusted her version of your truth will beg to get into your reality. You, however, do not require revenge. You require vision. Have your eyes on the horizon. What's on its way is so much bigger than what departed. The truth isn't here to hurt you. It's here to awaken you. For once you glimpse it, you can never turn back. Get ready not for a breakdown, but for a breakthrough, not for a scandal, but a change. The meeting is not coincidental. It's a landmark. This woman believed that she could function in spiritual darkness, but light reveals darkness. And heaven has flipped on the floodlights. She is revealed. You are lifted up. Her plots are falling apart. Your way is clearing. God is not only protecting you. He is proclaiming you in areas you never imagined your name would resound. And this government official is only the start. If you want to donate or simply express your thankfulness, you can provide a super thanks up to $100. You get to make a choice. Will you take a step into this? Will you have faith that what's occurring isn't by chance, but by divine appointment? Will you step into this next season with clarity? Even though the truth stings initially. Because once the pain of betrayal comes the blessing of restoration, God does not reveal except to impart. And His agenda is your advancement. You will be promoted from this, but not by yourself. You are bearing others. Your testimony will raise many. Your testimony will restore faith. Your submission will break curses. And your presence, your very presence, will change atmospheres. Don't draw back. Don't overanalyze. Don't try to mess up what God is doing. Have faith. Lean forward. The truth is in your favor. The angels are closing in. The woman who attempted to deter you is tumbling. And heaven is crying out, open it now before it's too late. Because this is your message, your miracle, your moment, and yo. But above all, God knows all, and He tells us it is time. 3 hours have elapsed. Heaven has waited. The quiet was holy. But now the world is changing, and God tells us that the trap was laid, but because of your obedience it fell down. You were moments from being entangled. You were seconds from an error so shrouded in emotion, you would have labeled it destiny. But you obeyed. You remained vigilant. You believed the warning. And now the spiritual world has reacted. The task against you has been breached. The lady who believed she could control your path has just been halted by forces beyond her expectations. She did not see the strength of your alignment. She believed your silence was weakness. But your silence was for protection. Heaven had her hand over your mouth, because if you had spoken out of turn, she would have distorted everything. And now she is revealed. Not only to you, but to everyone surrounding her. The ones who had believed her deceptions are now witnessing the fissures. The ones she turned against you are hearing things she never imagined would be said again. Her spiritual cover is being destroyed. Her power is crumbling. Her mirror that used to reflect just light has broken, and only the truth remains. God declares, I let her speak. I let her move. I let her circle, but now I'm striking. I am the Lord your God, and I do not let evil prosper indefinitely. This was never a matter of revenge. This was a matter of justice. This was a matter of defending my chosen. This was a matter of setting you free from spiritual entrapment disguised as connection. Now observe what is to come. Because the instant you obeyed, a heavenly transaction took place. You surrendered the counterfeit, and now heaven is letting out the real, the true opportunity, the true partner, the true healing, the true friendship. You had to forfeit what was false to create room for what is true. And God is not a man that he should lie. He made you a promise. You thought the delay indicated that he forgot. But no, he was sweeping the path. He was cleansing the circle. He was bringing the hidden forward, because what's coming now needs no ambiguity. No more double visioning, no more secret intentions. You will awaken in light. You will know it in your chest. The shift already began. You're lighter. The cloud is lifted. Your spirit is no longer at war anymore. Because the spiritual bond was severed the very second that you said yes to heaven and no to the trap. You shattered a curse that went deeper than you knew. This woman was not merely one individual. She was a spirit that operated on a generational level, one that kept appearing in various disguises throughout your existence: the phony supporter, the behind-the-scenes competitor, the smiley saboteur. But now the cycle is complete. And now God is speaking once more. My child, for you trusted me with that which you could not understand, I shall now trust you with that which I have kept secret. The blessings that I withheld are being unleashed. The visions that I whispered are now becoming reality. The doors that I shut are swinging wide open. I had to hold certain things back from you until the wrong persons departed, but now that you have obeyed, now that you have walked away, now that you didn't settle, I will bless you openly. She thought she could curse you. But all curses are turning around. She thought she could match up against you, but I never called her. She thought your delay meant defeat, but the delay was divine setup. And now your time starts. You will receive news soon. Surprising, undeniable, unshakable. A call, a message, a breakthrough confirming this was real. Heaven's validation won't be late, you'll see the proof. Those who questioned you will see you come up. Not in pride but in anointing. Not in arrogance but in purpose. She'll be amazed. She attempted to silence you behind the scenes, but she'll see your ascension publicly. That's not revenge. That's God's justice. You didn't aim to demolish her. You didn't besmirch. You didn't go low. You merely obeyed. And God declares, because you remain silent in battle, I will speak on your behalf in victory. I will vindicate your name, I will restore your reputation. I will renew your power. I will cause them to know who you are by what I do next. But remain vigilant. The spirit that took her may seek another host. It will perhaps attempt again disguised anew, but this time you will spot it right away. You've been upgraded. Your intuition has leveled up. You won't second guess your gut. You won't need second opinions. You will see and you will decide quickly. No more procrastination. No more spiritual haze. No more self-doubt. God tells us, I've restored your eyes. I've restored your boundaries. I've restored your roar. And now walk forward. Don't look back. Don't grieve what was unauthentic. Don't second guess your obedience. Don't wait for her to confess. She might never say it, but the truth is already out in the spirit, and that's where it counts most. Heaven closed that chapter and you must as well. Your future needs you single-minded. It needs your hands available. It needs your heart unburdened, because the next 72 hours will be full of divine interruptions. Good ones, the ones that shake you, the ones that shift you, the ones that make you say only God could have done it. You'll encounter someone new, or something new will encounter you. A conversation, a door, a whisper, a nudge. It will happen quick. Don't run from it. Don't question it. Just repeat, God, I'm ready now. The trap was broken. The curse was released. The exposure occurred. And you are free now. Let me know if you'd like me to draft Part 3 of what transpires 72 hours later when your blessing comes into being. You must listen carefully to what I am going to share. This is not by accident. This was set divinely before the beginning of time. You're not here by chance. This message is heaven sent, and you're being shown it at this time because something huge is going to occur in your life, and you need to be spiritually awake for you to be able to accept it. A government official has been observing from afar. They know everything about you that you could ever imagine. They have researched your name, your records, your energy. But not why you're afraid. It's for something much more godly. It's no accident this meeting is taking place. And you won't believe the reason why. There are things being done in secret that I, your God, am now making public. There are papers, discussions, movements, and plans being made that all have one thing in common, you. You might think that you have been forgotten, but indeed, you are being observed. You are being watched by individuals in places of authority. Individuals that you never thought would be aware that you exist. Your actions have roused something in the spiritual world, and the ripple has since gone to the material world. The individual in question, the one with the government title, is not your adversary. Actually, they are bearing a message sent from heaven itself. You are going to be contacted, approached, or called, and it will happen in the most unlikely manner. But I want you to listen to me now. Do not be scared. You are not in danger. You are not punished, you are being placed. There is something behind why this official, this individual with power, has his eyes set upon you. It has nothing to do with earthly rule, It has everything to do with divine purpose. You have prayed about this for a very long time. You have prayed for guidance. You have asked me, when is it going to change? When am I going to be heard? When is the breakthrough coming? And now the response is coming to you. But not as you had anticipated. I am bringing assistance in a surprise vehicle. This individual bears both power and heavenly guidance. And though they might seem to be arriving at you in solitude for their own purpose, I assure you now, I sent them. I melted their heart. I whispered your name into their mind. I stirred their heart when they saw your face, your story, or your name appear before them. They could not remove it. They could not erase it. Because I would not let them. That is why your obedience is important. That is why I instructed you to remain loyal, even when it did not make sense. Each tear you wept, each time you elected to go towards the light amid darkness, it was not for nothing. Your integrity caught heaven's eye. Your purity, yes, even amid your suffering, has brought favor to your name. And that favor is now bringing this official closer to you. They'd like to talk privately, not because they're trying to conceal something from anyone, but because what they're about to tell you is too precious to say out in the open. This is not a chatty conversation. This is a holy exchange. The information they bear is not information about forms or potential. It's information about your destiny. They have knowledge about your history that you believed was lost. They know secrets about your talents, your history, your struggles, things they couldn't possibly know unless heaven spoke to them. You might feel exposed. You might feel disoriented, but don't flee. Don't be frightened. You are protected. You are safe. I have positioned angels all around this encounter. Archangel Michael has been setting up the path such that when the time comes, every sentence will be predetermined, every question will have an answer, and every piece of this puzzle will fit together. There is something you bear, something you have had since you were little that they are attracted to. Reference it as light, reference it as favor, reference it as spiritual gravity, but it exists and they sense it. They might not know how to put it in spiritual language, but they sense the burden of your calling. You were not made to live a small. Because your elevation has shaken their control. Because something about your presence, your power, your calling, your divine grace has exposed their false stability. They thought you were quiet. They thought you didn't know. But now God says, you're about to find out everything because I will not let you walk into the trap they built. I will not let you shake hands with those who smile in your face while stabbing you in the back. I will not let their secrets become your prison. This time I'm revealing it all. This meeting was spiritual. It wasn't just physical people. It was also spirits, energies, jealous, intentions wrapped in pretty words. They discussed how to block your next move, how to delay your blessing, how to make you question yourself so much that you'd never pursue the door I've opened for you. But here's the part that shakes the heavens. They underestimated your resilience. They didn't know who protected you. They didn't see the angels standing beside you when they plotted. They didn't feel the fire that surrounds your name. You are not ordinary. You are not defenseless. You are divinely guarded. Every whisper made about you in secret has now become a megaphone in heaven's court. And God says, I'm responding to this. The decisions made in that room were harsh. There was one person who spoke more than the rest. Someone you once trusted. Someone who holds a version of your truth. They took what you told them in confidence and used it as a weapon. They twisted it into something ugly. They mocked your growth. They ridiculed your healing. They called your breakthrough fake, but God says, I heard every word. I saw the fake concern. I saw the subtle nods. And I watched how they ended the meeting with one final vow. We must stop them before they rise again. Yes, they meant you. What they don't realize is that I already had a meeting of my own. A higher meeting. One that didn't happen in darkness but in light. And in that divine council, your name was honored. Your calling was affirmed. Your wounds were seen. Your future was sealed. What man tried to sabotage I have already secured. But I had to show you the truth. Because if I didn't show you what they really felt, if I didn't lift the veil, your loyalty would become your curse. You would keep blessing those who fasted for your downfall. You would keep giving to people who were draining you spiritually. And so I stepped in with force, with clarity, with urgency. You've been feeling the shift, the heaviness, the emotional unease. That wasn't just life being difficult. That was the residue of that meeting. You've been spiritually absorbing the warfare sent your way. You didn't imagine the delay. You didn't overthink the tension. That was a result of the spiritual binding they tried to place on your favor. But they made one fatal mistake. They forgot who your Father is. They forgot that I never sleep. That I never lose track of my chosen ones. That before they even finished speaking, I had already sent angels to intervene. This is not just about people. This is about patterns, about cycles, about generational issues trying to rise again through people you thought were safe. Some of the ones involved in this meeting are family. Some are old friends. Some are spiritual figures you looked up to. But it doesn't matter their title. It matters their truth. And the truth is they never wanted to see you fully free. Because a free version of you meant the end of their influence. Because when you rise, their control disappears. Because your healing reminds them of their own stagnancy. But God says this isn't your burden to carry anymore. I'm severing the tie. You were never meant to be tied to them permanently. They were part of the journey but not the destination. I used them to teach you, to shape you, to make you. But now their chapter has closed. If you try to bring them into the next, you will suffer more delay. You will feel their jealousy choke your joy. You will wonder why your peace keeps disappearing. But now you know. You've seen the meeting. You've heard the decision. They weren't praying for you, they were praying on you. And now I will not allow another day of confusion. There is more you don't know. Deeper layers, messages exchanged about you, discussions filled with spiritual manipulation. They've even tried to tamper with how others see you, to isolate you, to make you seem unstable, unreliable, dramatic, or too much. But God says you are not too much. You were just around people who were too small to handle your gift. You are not unstable. You were simply breaking free from spiritual cages that were never meant to hold you. The shaking wasn't you falling apart. It was your prison collapsing. And now that you're free, they fear your clarity. But don't fear. I'm not just exposing the conversation. I'm reversing the outcome. What they decided in that meeting will not stand. Their plans will collapse. Their words will backfire. The pit they dug for you will swallow their own intentions. I will bless you right in front of them. I will anoint your head in the presence of your accusers. I will elevate you so high they will have no choice but to witness it. And I won't do it in secret. I'll do it loudly, because your vindication is not just spiritual, it's visible. The world will see that I am with you. You've waited long enough. You've questioned your own worth long enough. You've kept silent for the sake of peace long enough. But peace built on lies is not peace. It's spiritual manipulation. And now I'm giving you the strength to speak, to walk away, to choose yourself, to protect your destiny like your life depends on it. Because it does. The next season of your life is sensitive, strategic, holy, and not everyone can come. The ones who just had a meeting about you. They've disqualified themselves. Not because you hate them, but because their energy can't walk beside your breakthrough. I know this hurts. You didn't want this to be true. You wanted to believe in their love. You prayed that their intentions were pure. But now I'm showing you what they said when they thought you weren't listening. Now I'm showing you who they really are behind the mask. And yes, it's painful, but it's also freeing because now you can move forward with full awareness. No more confusion. No more what if they meant well. No, they didn't. But that doesn't stop your purpose. Their doubt doesn't cancel your destiny. Their meeting doesn't cancel heaven's plans. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. There is divine protection circling you, now. That's why certain connections are crumbling. That's why certain people are avoiding you. They feel the exposure in the spirit. They know they've been found out and they're hoping you won't notice. But God says you will notice. You already have. And now you'll begin to see the unraveling. The confessions, the weird behavior, the sudden distance. Don't chase it. Don't fix it. Don't apologize for it. Let it fall. Let it end. Let me rebuild your circle with people who carry peace, not poison. Your life is about to accelerate. I'm releasing things you prayed for years ago. I'm bringing answers to questions you cried about in secret. But first, I had to clear the path. I had to remove the snakes. I had to show you that the ones cheering for you were also cursing you. You had to see it before you entered the new season. Because where I'm taking you, betrayal like this would have been fatal. But now you're awake and now you're safe. God says, I have not forgotten your obedience. I have not ignored your sacrifices. I saw when you stayed faithful even when it hurt. I saw when you gave out of lack. When you loved people who were unloving. When you forgave even without an apology. I've recorded every action and now I'm rewarding it. They may have had their meeting, but now I've had mine. And my decision is final. You will rise. You will be seen. You will be protected. You will be compensated. And they will watch it happen. You are entering divine visibility, where those who tried to hide your gift will now be forced to recognize it. Where those who tried to silence your voice will hear it louder than ever. This is your time. Not just for healing, but for honor. Not just for survival, but for overflow. The alarms have been sounded in heaven. The secrets have been spilled. And now the shift begins. Stay ready. The truth is coming faster than you expect. Conversations will surface. Old messages will be exposed. Sudden clarity will hit you like lightning, don't be shocked. This is the exposure season. It's been activated because your blessing cannot sit next to deception. Your miracle cannot be birthed in manipulation. And now that it's time to receive, it's also time to release. Let go of who they pretended to be. Grieve it if you must, but don't hold on. There's something better, something pure, something real, a better circle, a better blessing. A better love, a better future. It's already being built in the spirit, and the moment you walk away from what they decided in that room, you will step into what I've already established in heaven. What they plan to harm you will only push you deeper into your purpose. Because nothing can stop the one whom God has chosen, and God has chosen you. The 3 hours have passed and the moment has arrived. Heaven held its breath as the final second ticked down. Angels stood still in holy silence. Archangel Michael waited at the gate. The last trumpet of warning sounded, and now what was once hidden cannot remain in the shadows. It is done. The trap was seen. The mask has fallen. The exposure has begun. And God says, you listened, you obeyed, and now you are protected. In the invisible realm, there was movement. The trap she set was real. Yes, real. But your obedience turned her trap into her own prison. The very weapon she designed for you now surrounds her. The pit she dug is no longer yours to fear. Her plan was perfect, deceitfully perfect. She counted on your kindness. She thought your love would blind you. She studied your patterns and assumed you'd stay soft and silent. But what she didn't realize was this. Your spirit belongs to me, says the Lord, and I do not let my chosen ones fall without a fight. You heard me. Even through confusion, even through your aching heart. You listened to what your soul cried when your heart didn't want to believe. And because of that, because you trusted what I whispered when the voices around you tried to drown it out, you are safe, you are delivered. You are free. You didn't see the full extent of what she planned. You didn't see what was behind the smile. You didn't see the final step of betrayal that she was saving for the last moment, but I did. And I shielded you. I canceled the covenant. I cut off her access. You did not walk into her trap because heaven blocked the path she thought you would take. And now she is exposed. Not just to you, but to others. The charm she used on everyone else is crumbling. Her image is breaking apart. The things she said behind your back about you are now being echoed back to her from mouths she didn't expect. Her web is unraveling. Her control is slipping. People are seeing her, truly seeing her for who she is, for what she tried to be, for how she operates. And it is no longer beautiful, no longer convincing, no longer spiritual, because heaven is stripping away the illusion. This is what you asked me for, the truth, the clarity, the answer. It has come not in gentle whispers but in divine thunder. Not as a quiet suggestion but as a roaring revelation. You wanted to know who was real and now you do. You wanted to know who had your back and now you see who was aiming at it. You wanted to know what was delaying you. And now I've removed it. You are no longer trapped. You are no longer blind. You are no longer vulnerable to her poison. You are sealed in light. But be warned, the exposure is not the end. It is the beginning of recovery. Just because you see it now does not mean the enemy will stop trying. This is not just about her. She was a symbol, a representation of every disguised attack the enemy has sent over the years. And now that you've defeated this one, others will watch. They will see that they cannot manipulate you, that you are not weak, that your discernment is alive, that your angels are on guard, that your God is speaking. What happens now is sacred. Now begins your divine rise. What was blocked is now open. What was distorted is now clear. What was infected is now healed because you passed the test. You saw the snake in the garden and chose not to pet it. You felt the warning and didn't brush it away. And that obedience shifted your destiny timeline. A delay that would have lasted years has just been undone. A path that would have led to pain is now replaced with the path of power. The new door will appear quickly. That's how heaven works. When you align, things move fast. Restoration overtakes you. The replacement comes swiftly. But understand this, she will try again. Not always in person, not always through her face. But the spirit she carried, deceit, confusion, jealousy, will try to sneak in again in a different disguise. Be vigilant. Be rooted. Let what just happened become your armor. Let this be the lesson that sharpens your discernment forever. This was never just about saving you from a trap. It was about awakening you to your own authority. Because when you see the enemy clearly, you walk like royalty. No longer afraid. No longer passive, no longer apologizing for your light. You were always powerful. You just forgot. And she was hoping you'd never remember. That's why she wrapped herself around your trust. That's why she stayed close to your heart. Because she feared what would happen if you saw clearly. But now you see. Now you know, and now it is she who is afraid. Because nothing terrifies a counterfeit more than the one who finally recognizes the difference between love and manipulation, between light and mimicry, between divine connection and spiritual parasites. So here's what happens next. Restoration. Not in fragments. Not slowly. But in full, suddenly, unexpectedly, miraculously, your peace will return. Your joy will reappear, your discernment will sharpen, and your path will be illuminated like never before. The blessing that was held back is now free to find you because the energy around you has shifted. The fog has lifted. The counterfeit has been cut off and heaven rejoices. Your name is now echoing in new rooms. New favor is being released, a divine endorsement is being spoken over you. People who turn their backs on you will begin to feel something they don't understand. The people she poisoned with her lies will feel conviction. They will wonder why they ever doubted you. And they will watch as your life rises, not because of revenge, but because of vindication. God is not a God who stays silent when his child is accused. And now he speaks through action.